Welcome back, everyone. The conversation on the possibility of an alliance between Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Senator Robbie Kunkunzo of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has generated much furore. Tonight, we will be speaking with Dr. Doyin Okupe, who is the running mate to Mr. Peter Obi. He joins us live here in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Dr. Okupe, for joining us tonight. Good evening. Should I say running mate or a placeholder? Whichever suits you. No, which one? What is your title? I'm a placeholder. Yeah. if that makes me happy, isn't it? It makes you happy, yes. Because that's what you are being called on. But that is the truth. But I'm a placeholder. Your obedience online. Yes. Very strong and hard supporters of yours. I mean, are you speaking with them? About what? About the engagement. What's wrong with engagement? You don't think, I mean, your candidate came out yesterday. When people are passionate about something, yeah, they can hardly tolerate you messing that thing up. Do you understand? Peter Obi has become a national phenomenon. And it's not just, you know, it's not just that the obedient team on Twitter or social media are a special breed. They are just Nigerians reacting to a situation. I mean, look, how do you want somebody who is obedient to react to a picture, a fake picture, a false picture of obese, supposedly obese son, standing on Nigerian flag and wearing IPOB uniform? That is infuriating. It is human to get angry. I'm not going to come here and blame anybody for being angry. It is politics. We're in this game together. If you don't want to get dirty, if you don't want to get wet, don't come into the rain. So, I mean, Mr. Peter Obi, I'm trying to pull out what he said. I mean, he was persuading them and telling them to... I know what Peter Obi said. You saw what he said? Yes, I know what he said. It looks like sometimes some of them get out of line in their engagement. That is not true. Nobody gets out of line. They don't get out of line, but we encourage people to temper their responses. But, while we encourage people to temper their responses, how do we now talk to those who are not obedient to also temper their accusations? I mean, this is, I've just told you, you don't want to get mucky, stay out of mucky waters, period. So obedience is better than sacrifice? Much, much better. What does that mean? What it means is that... I mean, for our viewers, just remember, for our viewers who are not very inclined to what the engagement is online, the supporters of Mr. Peter Obi have come to say, Peter Obi, they call themselves the obedience. So the supporters are the obedience, and they're saying, for the election, obedience is better than sacrifice. Supporting Peter Obi is better than sacrifice. So that's why I'm asking, what does it mean obedience is better than sacrifice? We've first seen it in the Bible. Obedience, in any ramification you look at it, it's a movement. It's a national phenomenon. It is a rave. Online. No, that's not true. I'm asking if it's online. That is not true. Sheon, it's not true. It's not just online. It has broken the bounds. It is gone even into villages. I drove in from Iperu this morning, to Lagos to pick a flight. Do you understand my point? My mechanic, they are talking about, Daddy, we're obedient to. Is that online? That's not online. Stop. I heard my brother, Waziri, talking about that obedience is effervescent. There's nothing more stupid, more senseless than that. It doesn't make sense. It's an extreme language, sorry. Okay, I withdraw. Television. He's my friend, actually. But the truth of the matter is that, I mean, how can you see this surge, this move? You know what is wrong with the Nigerian political elite, the establishment? They do not understand what is hitting the country. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them because they have never seen it before. We have never experienced this Obi phenomenon in the whole country or maybe in this continent of Africa before. Where young people, highly motivated, totally, completely dissatisfied with their environment, have decided to take their destinies in their hand, and somebody is coming and is telling me it's effervescent or that there's a calculation with which you are going to win an election. Total falsehood. It's not going to happen. What is going to happen is that these two political parties, these parties that are fading away, are just going to be swept off their feet.
Do you understand? You know, what is coming, what is going to hit the political establishment is something they will not recover from for a long, long time. Let me tell you, I also had Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso saying that people in the north will not vote for an Igbo man. Oh, my goodness. You see, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, with that statement, manifestly shows that, you know, the country, which is presently being led by the youthful population, has left him behind. He belongs to my generation of politicians. Do you understand? And, you know, we have a very narrow vision. And that is why Adamo can also come here and tell you it's calculation, it is mathematical, that they are going to elect Nigerian president. Lies. It's not going to happen. You know, for a leader like Kwankwaso to come to national television and play, you know, a very dangerous, negative ethnic card, talking about some people, northerners, will not vote for an Igbo person. You know, and Kwankwaso is in the habit of, whenever he's talking, he's always not. This is a man that is almost electorally restricted to Kano. You know, and that is the problem. He's judging everybody else in the north with the prism of what he sees in Kwankwasia movement in Kano. That's all. You know, and you want to give the impression that northerners have no, you know, they do not understand, the northern electorates do not understand politics. They don't have a mind of their own. That is not true. Evidence has not proven that. I want to tell you something. We are in this country. I was in NRC. Our presidential candidate was late Bashir Tufami, God bless his soul. He contested against a Southerner, against a Yoruba man, and MK Abiola. MK Abiola trounced us completely in the north. He won in Kano, won in Bauchi. Who voted for him? Are they from Chad or from Niger? You know, this misgiving and this misrepresentation of northern electorate has not been able to be discerning, you know, by the elites from the north is unacceptable. And it's not true.
We're going to get there, I mean, one after the other. I mean, you just remind me of some of the interviews I had with you, and when you boasted about how Jonathan was going to defeat the APC in 2015, and you were beating silly.
Yes,
I mean,
it didn't work out.
We'll get to it. You just reminded me. The way you are speaking, I can't kill you. But the way you're speaking now, those pictures just came back to my head. But let me ask you, the story about Senator Dati that we're hearing, that is being considered as a vice presidential candidate for Mr. Peter Obi. How true is this?
He's being considered. Others have been considered. These things will be decided this week.
I mean, there's going to be an announcement from Mr. Peter Obi?
Very, very likely.
So it's likely to be Senator Dati?
I'm not sure about that. I cannot say that. But I know that these matters will be concluded, you know, from tomorrow to Friday. You know, it will be done.
Senator Dati is being given a very strong consideration, that is?
He's being considered along with other people, you know, whom we have engaged and we're talking, you know, we have talked with and all that. The emphasis here is this. We're looking for a young, vibrant, a politician of northern extraction with a measure of intellect, sound background, pedigree, education. You understand? That is what we're looking at.
So there's those who say, let's talk about the alliance between the possibility and the talks about the alliance between the NNPP and the Labour Party. There's those who are saying, oh, Kwankwaso is a more senior politician to Peter Obi. So somehow, Peter Obi should be the running mate while Kwankwaso be the principal.
How do you measure seniority in politics? Is it age, length of time you have been in politics? Look, I have been in politics for 42 years, right? I have a pedigree that can compete with anybody in this country. I am knowledgeable. I have an above average intellect, for a fact.
And you're a retired medical doctor.
Correct. And I also wanted to be president, but I looked at it introspectively. You know, what I wanted to do was to help to change the country. And I saw a better man. What has age got to do with it? I've been, between Peter Obi and myself, it's almost 10 years. All right, I'm senior to him in age, senior to him in politics. I've been in politics even while he was still abroad doing his business. But that is not the issue right now. So the issue is who can fix this country at this moment. And I felt that, even though I have the desire, I have the zeal, but I saw a better person, that can do it, and I decided to withdraw.
So, Dr. Okupe,
what Kwankwaso is delving in, relying on, that he has been the Speaker of the House of Assembly, he has been a senator, he has been governor 8 times. That doesn't answer the questions the young Nigerians are asking. The young Nigerians are saying our future is in dire straits. We need a man that can put his hands on the steering wheel and drive the country well.
Dr. Okupe,
Kwankwaso has nothing in his background, that convinces anybody that he can match Peter Obi. So it's not a matter of seniority.
So
it's a matter of capability.
Mr. Peter Obi will not be a running mate to Kwankwaso.
Let me tell you, that discussion or those discussions about merger, alliance and all that was led by me from our side.
Is he still alive?
It's dead. D-E-A-D, dead and buried. So finished.
So no alliance. Mr. Peter Obi will not align with Kwankwaso.
It's not Mr. Peter Obi. The Labour Party and its presidential candidate have long since withdrawn from that conversation. It was NNPP that continued to try to benefit from the traction of the popularity of Obi. And, I'm now an elder statesman. Out of maturity, I decided that we will not take them on media-wise. So we kept quiet. But they kept on, going on. That alliance, the talk about the alliance, had been dead for over 4 weeks. I am telling you, I am the leader of the team that went to discuss with Kwankwaso, and it was dead. We were deadlocked. The moment I asked them one single question, I said, is it fair? Would you consider it appropriate and okay for a northern president, a president of northern extraction and a Muslim, to finish 8 years, and another northerner a Muslim northerner from the next state in the same zone takes over from him. And the three of them unanimously said, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. As far as I'm concerned, this discussion was over. And it has remained over since then. But we did not come to media because I respected those who we were discussing with. I never said anything. I've never mentioned anything publicly. This is the first time I'm publicly commenting on the matter. And it's because they have thrown it into the winds.
So that idea is dead.
I've told you, D-E-A-D, dead.
I'd like you to comment on what Senator Kwankwaso said about the ability and the capacity of the political, because I always tell people there is a political popularity, the public popularity, and the voting popularity. The most important one to win an election is the voting popularity.
Correct.
And for those,
and that is what Peter Obi has in excess.
No,
more than anybody
those
else.
who will say that almost 2 or 3 times now Peter Obi has gone to Anambra State, and every of his candidates has lost the election there. And so that has been tested. Does he have the voting popularity?
The Peter Obi of those years is the same person, but his status is different from what he is today. Peter Obi today is at the pinnacle, is at the apex, is leading a revolution, a political revolution in the country, which is being propelled by the strength, energy, motivation, zeal, and capacity of Nigerian youth. Anybody, underestimates this, will have himself to blame. It is not Peter Obi anymore.
Yeah.
It has gone beyond Peter Obi. Do you understand my point? It has gone far, far beyond Peter Obi. People in villages, look, I've seen people, they are not worried about posters. They are painting the frontage of their houses like in a poster form, putting Peter Obi's picture there. Has that ever happened in this country before?
I know there is, you know why, as much as it's very interesting to speak with you, because you're a fantastic person when you're speaking about these issues, there are 2 tanks that I see that, that embeds in Dr. Okupe. There's the one that knows the issue and the ones that want to speak what Dr. Okupe wants to speak. Tonight, I'd like you to speak from the best part of those 2 tanks. Now, I
I'm not going to
respect
disappoint you.
I respect your knowledge of Nigeria's politics. You've been around for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Now, you do know that winning an election is not just by popularity. You have to have
Correct.
You have to have the structure.
Correct.
It has been tested over the years.
Buhari was popular, has been popular, and he lost the election 3 times.
CPC, ANPP,
correct.
never been
You are
able
very
to.
correct.
Now, the question now is, even the Jonathan of this world who lost the election based on the crisis in PDP, where because some of the structure of the party, they lost the structure and they lost election. And the NPDP, members of the PDP at the time who left, were the cause of APC's triumph because
correct.
they gave. So the question is that, does Mr. Peter Obi have that kind of structure? Now, the question is, does the Labour Party has any kind of state that it controls right now? Structure to win an election, very important in our politics.
Sheung, I'll be very honest with you, and I'll be very honest with fellow Nigerians. I'm going to speak the truth here. Peter Obi is just a man for this season. He's a man that presently all the elements for victory is totally, completely, positively mixed with him. Now, Peter Obi is coming more ahead of any other candidate with 5 states from the southeast. That's the platform.
You think he will win 5 states?
Oh, look, you can't. I don't want to start to mention names here. Some people tried to hold some discussions and they were talking about some other candidates and all that. People told them to chase them away. These are SY leaders in the southeast. I can tell you for free, and I mean it, and I'm not being frivolous, that if 1 million votes comes out of southeast, Peter Obi will take 850,000. I'm telling you for a fact. If not 900.
That will make him a regional president.
No,
he cannot even win. Okay, go ahead.
Let me go on.
Yeah.
Now, you move to the south. You move to the southwest. You move to the southwest. I've just told you, I'm just coming from home.
Iperu, which is a village. No. I mean, Iperu is a village.
That is not the matter of this discussion. You and I will meet after this. We sort that one out. I'm telling you, sir, that in the southwest, the avalanche of movements and persons and groups that are saying, Doctor, some who are my mates, are saying, we are with you and we're behind you. There's no way Peter Obi will score less than 40 to 45% of total votes cast in the southwest. Take it from me.
Has that ever been tested?
Look, I never make political postulations and fail. It hasn't happened in 40 years. Ask those who know me. When NRC was going to lose, I wrote a piece of proposition, and I gave it to the national chairman. And I said, we are going to lose this coming election because of this, because of this, because of that. President Jonathan, on the 13th of October 2014, I gave him a document that if we are not able to do this and this and this and this, we will lose this election. It is a natural gift with me. I can objectively look at political situations and hazard a guess.
It's 8 months before the election. How many states do you think Peter Obi can win?
Peter Obi will win in nearly 50% of the states in the country and get 25% in more than 24 states in the country.
Now,
let me also tell you this. I am the first to admit that his penetration is convincing in the south, all right? But not yet so in the north. I will put penetration of the obedience movement in the north to about 15–20%. But you see, from next week, when we announce it's strategic. When we announce the vice president, the real vice president, who's going to be a northerner, all right? He is going to be the arrowhead of rooting the north. And, the northern youth are ready for a new direction.
We need to close this conversation.
Yeah.
PDP controls 15 states. APC controls 19
These
states.
are dead parties. Don't even worry. When I was with Obasanjo, right? ACN controlled virtually the entire of the southwest. In one election, they lost everything except Lagos. So, the political dynamics of, of this country is not such that you can go and be, like...
So you'll beat the APC in the 19th state, you beat the PDP in the 15th state.
APC, we're not going to beat PDP because they will on their own self-destruct,
all right,
collapse.
On the final notes, just in 20 seconds, because we really need to go, Senator Kwankwaso mentioned that someone in the PDP is deceiving Mr. Peter Obi, and is confusing him. Do you know who that person is?
I do.
You know the person?
And I spoke to the person, and he is wrong. The person is in PDP, true. Not everybody has the wherewithal and the courage and all that to move with us. Do you understand? All right? But, he's still very close to Peter Obi, and he has been an intermediary between Peter Obi and Kwankwaso. And he comes from us, he goes to Kwankwaso, he comes back to give he's not deceiving Peter Obi. He's not. I know him. He's a man of honor, and he's a man that has integrity.
Dr. Donyo Okupe, I wish you the very best, and my regards to your obedience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming.
I hope one day you will become obedient too.
Unfortunately, I've been covering politics. I've tried to snuff life out of any biases that I have, at least in the last 9 years of my professional career, so that I can live long. You support anyone as a journalist, a professional, you are done. So I don't support anyone. And those such is that the way we operate here at Channels Television. We are balanced. We're here outside every time. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. That's our show. I'm Sean Kimale.